over at our back bay project. A little update. Plasters are working in the living room here. One thing I wanted to point out, I think we talked about in the last video, this is an access panel to basically get access to our AV, but also some mechanical. And this grill here was actually replaced, which is why the blue board's missing, because we had previously ordered a stock size, custom size, and these were about 1/8 of an inch off. So we decided to order a new one. These are made by Balco. They typically pop open. Not gonna figure that out. But now they're perfectly in line, and even though this gets buried behind furniture, we wanted to make sure that this was never something that someone looked at and then never unsaw. It's always things like that. See, the guys placed all of our TrueFig panels, custom cut blue board. That way the absorption rate is the same when they plaster this with their True 2 coat, and just kept everything nice and symmetrical, evenly spaced, even off the corners here and here. Looks much better. And those are the panels that we ripped off. Just to rehash, these are designed for drywall mud. So it has a different absorption rate than blue board. So if we plastered over that, the chances are low, but it could absorb differently and then flash later on. And with the amount of them throughout, we certainly wanted to make sure we weren't running any risk of that happening. This too, wall sensors for our radiant. Kitchen's all plastered. This kitchen will actually start getting installed relatively soon. We actually have the TrueFig over here, and these are designed for stone. So when the stone gets templated, it will sit flush with this, and then we'll faux paint each of those plates. There's Verge. You gotta say hi.
Hello.
I already walked you guys through this room. Completed, all the corners protected. Let's go upstairs. Next week, the guys are gonna be on site starting to work on this staircase. And up here, a couple things going on in here. Primary bedroom. These two walls are left open because we got this glass door remaining. And then over here, working on this wall. So that's really the extra effort that goes into each one of these surfaces to get an ultra flat surface, and making sure that that wall is completely coplanar, plumb, flat all the way across, rather than using a traditional 14-inch trowel in a back and forth motion that we typically see when it comes to plaster. And then we also have our staircase, all these plugs installed. You can actually see this one's pre-drilled, but these are the standoffs that will hold our glass on every single tread, which will add some structural support to the staircase, but primarily attach this glass all the way down to the floor. And then in the previous episode I talked about it, but these treads were made extra long, say about here, and we cut the ends off. So when we go to install our glass and we put the end cap back on, that grain will run continuous all the way through. Lots of micro detail here. But the biggest focus is getting the plaster done. I'll show you what's going on in the bathroom. Stone's all protected. Talk about faux painting downstairs. That seam has been faux painted. It actually, you can see the seam here, but this gray used to end up too low. It was a mistake on the cut, but we had a faux painter come in, and she was actually able to make that look. You literally can't tell. There's no way anyone would ever notice. So this is completely base coated. There's a couple more base coats with this fiber mesh Stow product. And what that will do is it will get applied to the wall. A couple more base coats, essentially hiding this glass channel here. You get about another 1/8. And once that is just about flush, probably about a 16th or 32nd, we'll do our finish coat. And I had the samples sitting somewhere. Not sure where they went. Either way, this will get essentially a cloudy white marbleized plaster. Product is called Dev Lime. A few of you guys have asked. If you guys are familiar with Tadlac, it's similar to that, but it has higher properties when it comes to maintenance and just overall durability, where Tadlac does require a little bit more maintenance, but equally as beautiful. So, quick update on our Back Bay project. This is project number 142. We are wrapping up tile today. This project is coming to a fantastic close. I'm gonna dig right into, if I can squeeze in here. Step back so you guys can see everything. So steam shower, we're gonna be doing a future episode of Crafted, walking through all the details, especially from a waterproofing and steam-proof manner, but I wanted to show you guys a sneak peek. We got our tapered window jams in, everything gets, basically the glass gets glazed right to our tile extension jams. Really tight reveals. Guys did an incredible job with the install. Tile ceiling. Working on the tile floor, so this got additional grout joints strictly because of slippage. We want some additional grip rather than the large format I'm standing on here. And then we get our linear drain back here. You can actually see the drain is only part of the way, but when that tile gets on, we're actually gonna do this really cool detail with a Schluter jolly that it makes it look like one continuous piece using a stock drain. Can't wait to walk you through that as well. And then check out this, 3 niche pockets. That is our dedicated exhaust for our steam in the shower. Built right in. Never need access. You can access it from the other side. Let me show you actually what I'm talking about. This panel right here comes out and you can access the fan, you can access the ductwork, you can also access your Wi-Fi thermostat for the floor heat, and then down here is your steam unit. So if you need to access that, reality is they'll probably have us come out and service them, and we know how to get into that. And well, you're probably wondering how. Put a suction cup here and then twist that and the mirror will knock out. There's 4 rare earth magnets holding that thing in place. How incredible does this room look? I've shared this a lot. I'm gonna walk through all the details on how this got installed. We gotta show you the pocket door too. So, man, the radiant's on, nice and warm. White oak floors, natural finish. White oak walls with a whitewash finish. Pocket door is primarily gonna live open, so we didn't want, actually this was a suggestion we made. We didn't want hardware exposed, so we did a bump open. Select right, just grab that door. Pocket door hardware we got from HD Pocket Doors. It's a Howa Junior 80, I believe. Nice heavy door, 2.5-inch oak, solid. Has an aluminum honeycomb center to keep it flat. Man, look at that tight reveal. All the hardware is buried up in the ceiling. You can actually see it up there. When it's open, looks nice and clean. And this actually is not perpendicular to this opening. So you guys pay attention. This right here is about maybe 5/16, and that side's probably 9/16. So this section here where the door hits is actually on a cant. Even though the door, you probably would never see it with the door between those slats, we wanted to make sure it had a nice positive flat stop. Really killer execution, guys. And then this slat wall, talked about this a lot. I'm gonna rotate my camera here. But we have this 1/2-inch reveal all the way throughout the whole space, and we continued that. And these slats that space off the glass, this is actually cold rolled steel because we found it to be the flattest and straightest because we needed it to be super flat and straight going up that high. And we did another video, check it out on our Instagram, how these get installed. Essentially you have the same detail at the ceiling here. and that end goes in first, and you rock this into place. So when you step back, you get this awesome kind of gradient going from solid to then spaced out, and then slightly more and more and more. A ton of you guys asked how we're going to clean it. Well, originally drawn, these were pressed tight up against the glass, and we knew that that could trap dirt. So now we're about, you know, a heavy 1/4 inch off the glass. You can definitely get a rag back there, a microfiber cloth, and get that. It's not going to be the easiest to clean, obviously, not as easy as that, but I think it's worth it for the aesthetic detail. Give you a sneak peek at this vanity here. So completely wrapped in crayon stone, and then you get this awesome drawer front that has a 45, and that's how you actually open it. Top and bottom, no hardware on it. We'll get to the integrated sinks at another time. Wall mounted faucets in the mirror. Get some lighting on either side. Unfortunately, the reality is we broke that mirror and maybe 5 other ones on this job. So we actually got a new mirror coming, and we'll replace this mirror. That's why these lights aren't in. Always something. Let me get this. This is a water closet, frosted glass, complete tile walls, and we have a wall hung toilet that will get installed. And then you get these little pockets back here with lighting on either side. Check these out. So these are a standard fixture. This is for our our toilet exhaust. Typically they have a 1/2 inch flange that sticks them off the ceiling quite a bit. Brought it to our shop, cut that flange off, sanded it, cleaned it up. Now it's much cleaner and flush looking, especially against our low profile speakers and taped in lights. Big Dog's on site doing some final touch-ups, and all of our closets are ready to go. Love how this detail came out. And then I feel like this is more overwhelming in the camera, but this is our room of mirrors. And what wasn't spec'd was a mirror, something to stop this door from going too far in, basically a door stop. And what we came up with was these magnets. You can see them up there, the oval ones, and they have a really strong holding power. So they bounce back and forth a little bit. These doors are really heavy, but they're dead flat. And that's really important. So when you're standing in front of, say, 3, you don't get that effect that, you know, you're closer on this mirror and further on that one. And it's also really important that, you know, these doors are super flat. So they're 2 1/4, and actually have I believe it's a 3/4 inch honeycomb center panel that keeps them really dead flat. And we got our LED tape light, or LED light, all the closets that shut off when the door's shut. So if you guys like these site visits, let us know, and we'll see you guys next week.